And we're live. Welcome to today's session, everyone, on how to get in the AI overview. That is the starting topic. Chris looks very confused, but this is just the starting topic. It's just where we want the video to land and blah, 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 blah. Anyway,
Okay.
we are sponsored by the News Guy. The link, the logo's above. The link is below. So please do check out Randy the News Guy. He's offering an amazing service. And yeah, we're here to answer any questions that you guys may have. So if you've got any questions, put them in the chat and we will go through them on a first come, first served basis. So please be patient if we don't get to it straight away, because sometimes we can have a little backlog of questions. Other times we don't, but we prefer a backlog. So any question relating to digital marketing at all, ask it, and if we can answer it, we'll try, and if we can't, we'll just make it up. And
No, we won't. No,
yeah, or we'll Google it.
We might do
a
that.
Chris, pretend I'm looking that way at something else and type,
Oh.
"What is this?" That was funny. That was funny. We do have Supreme SEO here, but if you are listening, let us know who you are, where you're listening in from, and like I say, any questions. But before the questions pile in, Chris,
Yeah.
How to get in the AI overview. I don't know why, but I've been in a few podcasts recently, and it's one of the most common questions I'm asked just now. Like people have
It's a
been
hot
fucking
one.
goofing around with that for a lot longer than now, but it just seems to be now everyone's like, I need that AI overview. Like I'm talking about in the last, I don't know, 6 to 8
6
weeks.
months. Oh,
Uh,
wow.
People are like hot on that one everywhere to go. Like, tell me more about this AI overview. How do you do this? Can you get in there? Can you get in there? Blah 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 blah. And I think we spoke about it on. Well, I don't even know if we've spoken about it. I speak about it a lot in terms of what can go in there, how you get it in there, and so on. But I thought I'd answer it anyway on this session as well because it's a good topic. So, in your opinion, and I know that you like to play around and test and fuck around and feed the
I do.
LLMs and make the LLMs say things that are not completely true and blah blah blah.
Not me.
So I'm only joking. But in your opinion, what is or how easy is it to get an AI overview in your opinion on a scale of 1 to 10
For who?
for you? You, if someone comes to you and says, "I want the AI overview for this," how easy is it for you to go away and do that?
Uh, I believe that I can manipulate the AI overview without a shadow of a doubt. I know I could get in for particular elements. Um, like if say we're building a profile or say we're building your background, I think I know without a shadow of a doubt I could change multiple elements, but I have not yet figured out how to exactly change every aspect. What I'm right now trying to figure out is if I give all of the information all at once, which order does Google take the information? Now I notice the sort order is very, very equal to what like say Wikidata is showing. Like I think
Mhm.
there's a hierarchy of information of how they understand. There's also a hierarchy when you're trying to pull in entity information or using Google's cloud to pull in the same type of information essentially. Like if I'm trying to build it out, there's a hierarchy. So I'm curious, well, if I'm feeding information or say I have multiple modes of information and I'm giving you everything all at once, like say a human being is 100 different things. If I give
Mhm.
you all 100, what do you take first? Like, is it my date of birth? Is it my school? Is it my wife's name? Is it my kid's name? Like, what piece? So that's where I'm at now. Um, what do you take first? Where do you take it from? Is there particular words or sequences that you're using? Is there certain platforms that you'll take first? Like, and then the next piece of it, which I've already figured out, is well, once I realize what information you're going to take easily and quickly, well, I already know a way to mass spam or teach the LLMs. So I already know how to spam the LLM and I know how to train it already. Now it's well, what are you looking for, and what do you take first? Like, what's the easiest?
I,
But as
I
far
tell you,
as, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I tell you something that's really weird though, Chris. I was playing around with deep research, right, on ChatGPT, and I asked it if I had a son called Charlie, because I don't really mention Charlie on my website or anything like that at all. But why would I? You know, and what this done was went away, done the deep research, and it came back saying Craig absolutely does have a son called Charlie because he mentioned it on this podcast, on that podcast, on that. So they are fucking listening to podcasts and everything for information on you. So what I also find interesting, Chris, is if you say, I think like AI eventually will be like a lie detector as well. So if you say 3 different answers to the same question, it's going to say, well, that bastard's fucking bullshitting because he's given 3 different fucking answers to that
Yeah,
very
but
same
it's
question.
yeah, but it's mode of thinking though, Craig. Sorry to cut. I didn't mean to cut you, but you can, as it's like these thinking models, you can see how whoever programmed that crap has programmed it
Yeah,
because it's telling you how it's thinking. It's just like writing. How a person writes is how they think.
yeah,
So you can see how it's thinking. Once I figured that out, it was like, dude, there's the blueprint. Like,
yeah,
once you know how somebody's, so what I'm getting at with that part there is like, oh, we know if they're BSing. Well, they're also going to pinpoint, well, when you said it and at what time.
yeah,
So I think, it'll know
yeah,
when you said what, where you said it. It's too detailed for you to, you could have said it at different times. Now, if you
yeah,
said it in the same week, 2 different ways, and it's completely different, now you have a problem.
yeah. So I thought I'd just highlight that. Not that anyone is bullshitting, but I think long term, it's going to be able to spot a bullshitter and say, nah, because it basically came back saying Craig categorically, based on this, this, and this, does have a son called Charlie because he said it here, here, and here. Whereas it wasn't sure when I was asking it the question, but when it done its research, it's like, based on what we can see, he absolutely does. And here's the proof.
Right.
So I thought that was quite interesting as well. I just thought I'd chuck that in. But
How about, you know how when you no index a page,
yep,
not no index, no follow, no archive, but no index. You know how Google will still like see it.
yep,
Sometimes it even shows up in the search results.
yep.
Sometimes. How about all of your drive information or everything that's not public? I think that's very interesting as well.
Well,
Um,
as far as I'm concerned, through my own testing and someone else that I speak to on a regular basis and trust and stuff, Google only has to see it. Only has to see it. Doesn't need to index it. So
Makes sense. Makes perfect
um,
sense. Well, if they see it, it's been indexed.
yeah, but
They put it in their little file folder. Oh, you did this? Okay.
yeah. So yeah, they only have to see it though. For me, yeah, if they see it, they'll do what they want with it and store it wherever they want. It will be used either for you or against you at some point. So
Yeah. And yeah, Google's funny too. Like on the front end, the big products, the stuff where people would be looking at the terms of service and what you're accepting, that's probably squeaky clean.
yeah,
But when you give access here, you've given access to all the apps and you don't know what they put in some app that you never use in Vault, right?
yeah,
Or whatever tool. So you say yes here, you said yes to this one. And when you said yes to this one, well, you also gave them access to everything.
yeah.
So, dude, these guys they didn't get rich by being dumb.
No.
No.
Ryan Durrani is saying this is going to be risky for people who know how to game it. Is the exact point there? If you understand the mechanics of how it works, or can see what needs to be placed where, that is what we do, right? It's what we've always done. If I need to be on Business Insider because Chris is on Business Insider and he ranks well, then I'm going to be on Business Insider. And it's the same with this. how are they picking up information on Chris? And why is he the top guy? Well, I need to be on these fucking things, and I need to be saying it better and louder and more efficient and everything than him. So,
Well, do you think it's not the precise sites though?
it's not the precise sites, but it gives you an idea. You know, it's
It gives you an idea of the information that they're accepting,
yeah.
and then how many times can I repeat it?
And the level of site you need to be on, because you know what they have to trust certain websites. There's got to be a certain level of trust before they're going to take it. And
Fair
I mean,
enough.
don't get me wrong. I think that barrier at the moment is really fucking low.
Yes.
At the moment, like really fucking low. But I can only see that improving. That bar has to raise, because you cannot fucking have you going on to marketwatch.com and feeding it some fucking cock and bull story, and for that just to be taken as gospel. And like we said before, it's not just one instance of it. It's a combination of saying the same thing over and over and over again. But I do think they need to raise the barrier. Otherwise, it's just going to be a spam fest. And
And
yeah,
I think
that-
our friend was working on. I see short-term wins and long-term wins too, as far as manipulation tactics. I think our friend was working on something that I heard was interesting, but all kinds of things, fun stuff.
yeah.
And
Well,
I think is Charlie launching a YouTube channel? Because this is the second week that we're talking. Is he? Are we
no,
trying to get him on? Oh, okay.
no. Not at all. Nah, it's just when I'm testing things for myself, like deep research or whatever, I'll ask it things that obviously are relating to me to see what can be found out about me, because I deliberately don't mention them on my website or whatever and stuff. Obviously, I mention them here and there on a live stream or whatever. You know, if you say how's Charlie, I've got nothing to hide, but I don't want to overly promote that stuff either. You know, it's a bit like you. You're not going to fucking publish your whole family fucking details and who's who on your website or whatever, because there's a lot of
Authentic.
stalkers and a lot of fucking weirdos out there.
Is
So
my
I
name
was
even Chris?
so I think I was just curious to know how and where they would pick that up from, because yeah, you know, the family side of things I don't mention too much on social media or on a website or anything like that. The only times I really do mention it is if you're asking or someone on a podcast asks, you know, sure, I've got a son and you know, all that stuff. But yeah, so I know that that's a little bit not out there, and I like to know how it's been found, if that makes sense.
How does it
And
think?
I now see these videos, and I don't know if they're jokes or not. Like, I see them on TikTok. I was in love with my boyfriend until I fucking put his name into deep research, and then up came all this fucking mad shit. I don't know if that's just a way of advertising for deep research, or someone actually did find something really fucking bad. But yeah, it's fucking scary, man. It's
Two
scary.
hot topics though.
Yeah.
AI and love. Oh boy, that's a winner.
Oh, dude.
That's a lot of
Oh,
views.
dude. Yeah.
Speaking of TikTok, little Chris and I are we're gonna do a little venture together. Well, I pushed him. We're gonna try TikTok shop with custom Legos. I'm gonna have him pitch them.
Why not?
I think it'll be fun. And then if not, and while we're doing that, we're gonna do live either eBay or whatnot. I'm gonna try to see if we can. I want to see. I think it'll be fun, man, for him and me.
Dude, I think I see a lot of local people here in Glasgow doing TikTok shop and peddling a load of fucking garbage, to be quite honest. Like pillowcases, fucking
And getting it off.
dude, they are fucking making money. Like,
Yes.
and you're like
Easy.
something for a kid. I don't know, Lego, like you say, or
Kid to kid is over.
Cool.
Sale.
It's gonna fucking it's
All
going to
day.
work, because
It
people
will.
are selling fucking fridge magnets, and it's working. So, you know, I think if you were a little bit more strategic with it, and you understood marketing and how to do it and all that, I think, you know, for little Chris, that could be some nice pocket money, man. That
To
could be
get your feet wet. Okay, here's how you pitch, and here's what to say, kinda, and then have fun. Most of all, have fun. Yeah,
we'll have fun, but
like do whatever you want. But remember, we're selling these little toys and no cursing.
I've got a nephew who is 9, and his big dream is to become a YouTuber. And he's actually made 37 videos so far, and he's sitting and he's showing this and playing with his toys and all that stuff. I mean, he's just getting his feet wet, and he, just being comfortable on a camera and being able to speak and not be shy, I think are the key components there. He's by no means polished or good in any way. And I inflated his followers, subscribers to a couple
give him
of
boost,
thousands.
Dude, internal. Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, he's walking about the school swaggering.
Probably like,
I've got this. Look at me and all that. Like the knuckles are dragging along the floor. He swaggers that bad.
Nice.
So he doesn't know I done that, but I gave him a little bit of a confidence boost. Do you know what? 37 videos. He sat there, and he's like, he had like 4 or 5 subscribers, and I'm like, fuck it, let's boost his ego a little bit more.
And that's where you would give up. Man, I made 37. It's been a year, 5 subs. But dude, if you would just right here is that first hurdle, that's the spot right there. You jump that one. The light is right there, my friend. Dude, you helped them. That's awesome.
What will happen here is he's going to tell all his little fucking mates in school, I've got fucking 2,000 subs. All those little guys are going to talk about it and subscribe and fucking and before you know it, these numbers are, well, that's the plan. That's the plan. But it's confidence boost. It's getting your feet wet and trying it out at that age. But Charlie's only 6, so he's too early for it. He's not getting the attention.
You're not going to have him on TikTok shop pitching. Chris is 7. Different. You can't. Different.
I don't know.
Got to start him. Got to start him early, man.
I mean, I would.
Absolutely. Pitch. Who's the pitch?
I absolutely would if I thought I could. Because
I had him at the flea market pitching.
He cost me a lot of money, that boy. So if he can start earning his own,
for fun
money.
Yeah, I try not to do the emphasis on the money though, because you don't want it to feel like work.
No.
Because then it takes the fun, like doing like the stand outside, like pitching stuff, like little toys and stuff.
Charlie has no clue about money at all. Like, you could give him $100 or $1, he thinks he gets whatever he fucking likes. Like, I've been in a shop, someone like my dad gave him like, I don't know, £10 or something, and we went to the shop, and somehow I came out fucking $60 down, and he still thought there was still more. He was still going, where's my fucking change? And you're like, fucking hell. So yeah, I think trying to teach them too much emphasis on money is not a good thing, but
I agree.
But yeah, I think getting their feet wet early is no bad thing.
I'm sorry, I was getting dinged. I'm sorry, you saw me looking down. Get their feet wet. Teach them the pitch. Don't be scared of a camera. And commerce is king.
Exactly. But guys, very slow today. Give us your questions. We're over the AI overview. You need to basically feed the LLMs. Go find out what sources other people are on. What's working for them. No problem. Chris is going to do a fart again. And just monitor and check deep research and see what it's picking up on you, your brand, and things like that. But it's fairly easy to get into the AI overview for now. But I do anticipate that will get a little bit more difficult as time goes on. So yeah.
What's going on? Why is it so behind?
I don't know, man.
Slow.
It is really slow. But I don't know if we were just chatting shit and no one was getting their word in. So guys, question time. Ping any question you want there. And also let us know if you are listening, because there are people watching. Durrani, give us a good question. Doesn't have to be related to AI overview. Ask whatever you like. Ryan's never out of my WhatsApp, so Ryan, use this time to ask some questions, and I'll try and answer them. Some of the questions I can't answer Can't give up too much publicly on YouTube, but yeah, it's
If on a website, let's say a website's 50 pages.
Mhm.
Throughout the website, there's numerous industries, but let's just say within those 50 pages, there's 60 outbound links on separate pages going to casino sites, we'll say. Would that negatively impact the guest post that's new?
Yeah.
Why?
I just feel that that would constitute you being in a bad neighborhood. I think it gives a signal to Google that that's, they're all linking out to casinos and stuff. I mean, I'm not saying I can 100% prove this or anything like that, but if a website, if your asset is like a dumpster fucking rental website, but it's linking out to all of these fucking casinos, do I want a fucking link on that? No.
Well, from a cosmetic,
No,
retail point of view.
I still think that Google would look at that going, that website's a piece of shit, so it's going to get devalued, or it's not going to pass as much value. So, I do look at the anchor text and the links that is being linked out to. Now, of course, if you're getting a link, of course, there's going to be an element of this, that, and the next thing in it. But if it's saturated and been spammed to death with casinos, I am not fucking interested, man. I do think that would be negative to me. I really do.
Yeah,
And I can't prove it, but it's certainly something I would be steering clear of.
So, you think that just the act anywhere on the site of an outbound link going to a casino could negatively affect where that link is pointing, wherever, like the new links I'm saying. So even if that's a category all itself, Google ranks pages, not sites, and and these are the only ones that interlink to each other.
Yeah,
like all the business stuff is just business.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no external links coming in that are casino, and there's no external links going out within that whole category. Like there's no internal linking or anything that would say casino, but if you go looking, you could see casino.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I still think Google are clever enough to go, I'm not saying it will impact you in a negative way, like as in it's going to damage your ranking. It's just how much would you get out of that link? I think Google would potentially ignore your fucking guest post. I'm not saying you would be able to use this to damage someone else's rankings. Let's be clear on that. But I do think if you went and got that, are Google going to give that any kind of real value? I think no. If it's linking it to every casino website, I think, and it's a dumpster rental website, I think Google would say, well, go fuck yourself. This is crap. This is garbage. Look at everything else that's on it. It's all over the place. It's not.
And that's where I was. Okay, that's what I was.
So
not a negative, but
no.
I mean, for it almost always.
Yeah, I mean,
unless it's $2.
As a deliverable and stuff, and things like that, absolutely. But yeah, I think I think it wouldn't be a negative. If I want to damage your website, would I go and fucking get you on all of these Nah, I just think Google will just ignore the shit that I've just done, if that makes sense. So I don't think it would ding you. I just think you would be wasting your money, and I don't think you'd get as much value.
As much. What do you think?
I'm sure there will be some value. I'm sure there'll be someone will argue, oh, I've done a test on this and it definitely did move the DR and fucking it did do this and fucking my rankings went up. It's a very, very hard thing to sit there and categorically state that, but I think you sometimes just got to use a bit of common sense and say, how would I do this? If
you're testing for a positive, you get a positive. If you're testing for a negative, you get a negative.
Yeah.
But if you're testing just to see, that's the difference. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, yeah. But it's all about, for me, Chris, my mindset is, if I'm spending X, I better get a fucking ding in traffic or something. And I don't want to spend X on something that I just don't feel is value for money. So that's where I feel websites like that, I would just give a wide berth if it was my own website. But totally, if it's a deliverable for someone just to shut someone up, or some people will argue that there is still an element of power there, and go for it.
Fair enough. How about that I don't think it matters about the I forget who did it, but remember they did that, like, I forget what the leak was. It doesn't matter what it was. But remember when they were identifying the tiers of links, like sites with traffic, without traffic?
Yeah.
You think did th- in your opinion, in the overall traffic of the website would have more value than the page that it's on? Or it has to be the page that's getting it?
No, I think the website in general, as far as I'm concerned, for the here and now, if the website's getting traffic, then it passes value. You know, if you put an article up just now, yes, I would also send traffic to it. Absolutely. You know, if it's got traffic, it will help. Of course it will, and it'll help with its ranking and everything else. But, you know, if it's just purely from a link buying perspective and you're buying guest posts, you know, you cannot just expect that to automatically rank and get traffic. You would have to put that work into it. And if that is what's required to rank well, then so be it. But I think pushing traffic to it
Helpful.
would be the ideal solution. You know, I do a lot of CTR, and I can tell you right now, by pushing traffic through things like that moves the needle. So absolutely.
Well, especially if the page you're getting a link from is ranking for the terms that the anchor text is about. I've
Yeah.
noticed there's no doubt there.
Yeah.
Interesting. But
You know,
not the overall site, right?
again,
Like these high quality sites that get boatloads of traffic, but you get a new guest post. It's like, yeah, but
if
my
that
page has
gets
nothing.
all, yeah, it doesn't get anything. You know, it's why I have always done like money robot blasts and things like that to websites like that and run some traffic through them and everything else. One, I want to force index them. Two, I want to run some traffic through them. I want that motherfucker to be used as a parasite to some degree if I can. You know, if I've got a big thing there, can it rank even if it's for some long tail words? I don't even care. I want it to be doing something for me because I've went 90% of the way. Why am I not doing that extra 10% and making it rank as well? And you know, again, going back to common sense, Chris, you know, if you're Google and you see these links on these pages, it's very easy for them to say, I'm going to devalue or not count any link on a page that doesn't rank for a single keyword and has no traffic. They could just wipe that shit out like that. So I think, you know, I'm not saying that they do that, but I do feel that they could do that. And I do think there's more value if your link is on a BBC News that's getting 100,000 hits.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
So I think that part's undeniable. So
see, I like the traffic and the indexation, not because I felt that that's the only way it passes power, but when it's in the search results, that means it's getting recrawled, which means it's still passing equity.
Yeah.
It's the only reason, but the initial indexation is what I'm happy with. Then I got my value. Interesting. Okay.
I
got more. I got lots more.
That's how I see it. I'm a big fan of running traffic through things, man. It just is. That's my thing. I like it, and it works. So
I like traffic.
Yeah.
Traffic's fun.
But
can get expensive though.
But
farming,
you need to be careful because a lot of people do this stuff and then they're doing it for every single fucking thing they're doing, and you're like, dude, you'll be bankrupt. You need to pick and choose some of these because budget, unless you've got unlimited budget, then by all means do it to everything.
And if you do, come give me a call.
Yeah. But Farming Noob has a quick one with the AI overview and the normal organic SERPs ranking. Have you seen increase in rankings if you do Google Ads to certain pages or articles you are ranking for and now doing ads to? A lot of people have asked this question for many years, Farming Noob. Is it the fact that you're doing the Google Ads, or is it the traffic and engagement that those pages or articles are getting? Which of those are moving the needle? I do not believe for a second that it's just the fact that you're doing Google Ads. You could be doing Quora ads, you could be doing Facebook ads, it will have the same impact. So I don't think you could argue that it's Google Ads itself. I think it's the engagement and everything else that comes from that will help your rankings. And again, we've done CTR manipulation conversations probably way more than many other people out there, and you know, whether that's using CTR booster in the past or whatever. I think, you know, running traffic, Facebook ads, Quora ads, Taboola, any kind of traffic is going to absolutely help you. So I don't think it's any one particular thing like Google Ads. You know, I've done it with Facebook. I've just ran traffic through push notifications, email lists. It doesn't matter as long as it's real traffic or looks like real traffic. And I use that term loosely, looks like, you know,
Very
because,
loose.
yeah, you know, there's guys out there like Chris and various others who do certain things, but they work hard on the finer details to make that traffic look natural, credible, different IPs, proxies, blah 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 blah. So you know, the days of going and using the crappy old traffic bots in Black Hat World and stuff like that, they don't do the same thing anymore. So
Well, they can inflate GSC and Google Analytic metrics.
yeah,
It'll look like a lot's going on.
yeah,
For
look
sure.
like, but yeah, we need it to actually fucking pack
Do
that
something.
punch.
Boom.
And that's why you need proxies and all this, you know, the shit that you sell, you know, proxies and things like that. There's just a more sophisticated setup now, and obviously it costs you more money and it's a bigger pain in the ass. Because I wish that shit did actually move the needle. But like I say, it's either you can fuck around fucking with people's analytics and search console, or you can go and
Just go do it.
go do it properly. So hopefully that helps you, farming noob. But guys, questions, put them in there so we can steamroller through the last 25 minutes with questions. I don't know, I'm just checking. All of these seem to be coming from YouTube, which is not normal. Normally you have a mix coming from like Facebook and LinkedIn and shit like that.
Somewhere.
Check my LinkedIn. Guys, if you have asked questions and we've not answered it, please, if you can, jump on YouTube and ask the question.
I only see a
Because
couple.
if there is anything that's not coming through from the LinkedIn and things like that, I mean, it is there. It is on LinkedIn and stuff like that. But
You're not messing around with anything with the traffic, are you, Craig? Personally, no way, right? Not
No.
enough time.
no.
enough.
So, nah, I don't know. There's people there liking it and stuff. So, questions, folks, or we will ask ourselves questions, which can become very not helpful for certain people. So, the job here is to help you guys with anything that you're struggling with. So, it could be GMB stuff. In fact, Chris, I'm curious to know. I was talking to a mutual friend of ours about GMB stuff. How are you finding that going right now? Is that getting really, really tough? Because Slaughter was like, this is becoming beyond a fucking joke now. This is torture.
Are we talking about reviews or
Nah,
overall?
just getting GMBs verified.
I think it depends wildly on the account. Like I'm pretty. I mean, let's just say if you were to have a really good business owner, right, and they want to expand, but they also within their Chrome browser had 5 accounts that were very, very old that their wife or their daughter or whomever were logging into. From those accounts, I think that it would be relatively easy depending upon category and where you're trying to get it verified. I think you'd be able to get a few that way.
Yeah.
But as far as, buying 2FA accounts or just doing like the Google Workspace and stuff, I think it's hit or miss. You might it's a lot harder to get lucky. Yes.
Yeah, no, obviously every few months it just seems to be getting harder and harder and slower and fucking you're just like fucking hell, man, this is grinding to a fucking halt.
Yeah, I ran across. I found another method of validation of a profile. I think he was there when he just magically shows up when I figure these things out too. It had to do with like a merchant thing, right?
Don't get me wrong, he's still able to pop them, but it's a lot harder.
It's harder.
Yeah,
Yeah, the merchant. I think he was there, but if he didn't see the merchant, I was utilizing a merchant profile,
yeah,
and that does a lot. It's just like a workspace or better
yeah,
because you're feeding it all the info, and then what you'll notice is if you just go to that location in which that you set up inside the merchant, and you right click and you say what's here, it's there already. All you gotta do is then go in that same profile and create it, and boom, verified.
yeah. That makes sense. By the way, are you going to Chiang Mai SEO this year?
No,
No.
I don't.
Andy,
He asked me yesterday to go.
he messaged me the other day, and he was just asking about it, and you know, we're just having a general chit chat, and I'm like, him and Chris are going to come. Him and Chris are going to come. I thought he would have tried to rope you in.
He tried.
He tried.
He's close, but it's like, yeah, it's summer vacation. No,
Dude, it's in
I'm not
November.
leaving. Well, whenever it is. Well, right now I'm definitely not going, but maybe November. I still wouldn't go. I'd be honest, unless I was speaking or it was like there's the only thing that would have me leave Little Chris would be business.
Yeah.
And going for an event that's really leisure, it's just not interesting to me. It's not what I do.
No, I get it. I absolutely get it.
Intentional leaving, not goal achieving. I'm out.
Nah, I get it. It's hard to go there if you're not speaking, because I've never been when I've not been speaking. It would be that length of travel to go there and not do it from a business perspective would be ridiculous. And
it's tough for me.
It's hard. Yeah, you've got to pick you've got to pick the battles and choose when you leave your family, and obviously traveling halfway across the world is never fun either. It's fun when you're there, but it's
I'm hoping, in a few more years, dude, that would be cool as long as we're still going. When we're still going, it'd be cool. Like if I could bring little guy.
Oh yeah,
for it, dude.
It's the whole problem is with the school thing and all that. With taking them out of school and all that, it's a pain in the ass at that age. Well, that's my wife's concern. She's just like, don't want to fucking.
See, I would book him and get everything, and then Kel would be like, "Well, Chris has school, dude. He's not going anywhere."
Yeah. Dang it. Yeah, I think the kids learn a lot when they travel. We took Charlie to Dubai in February, and we took him out of school for a week for it, and
that was worth it.
He was around other business people. He was in Dubai. He got to see things and spoke to people and learned what people do and met a few new faces. And I just think overall that 1 week was probably a lot more useful to him in terms of learning about Dubai, different cultures, the heat, because he'd never seen any of it before, and business people going there and just connecting with new people and stuff. I think that's a lot more beneficial for him than sitting in a fucking class.
Repetitive information that you just learned last week.
Sure. Like,
I agree.
He's like, what's this fucking Burj Khalifa, in Dubai, and what's this, and why is it so tall, and why this, why that? You know what it's like? Why?
It's big. Yeah, it's fun.
Fucking Charlie's big thing right now actually is the fucking Twin Towers. I don't know how or why. He keeps watching videos on the Twin Towers and keeps asking about it, and he's like, I want to go and see that. And I'm like, because I quite like shit like that. And I'm like, you've actually been. And last night we're sitting, but he was only a baby. The last time I was in New York, he was 6 months old, and we went to the Twin Tower site. We went to the museum and all the, all of that stuff.
All the cool stuff.
I'm like, you've actually been? And he's like, oh really? he's like, but I want to go back. And I'm like, well, you know, the next time we're there, we'll go and
One
see it,
step.
and all that stuff. So yeah, he's weirdly gets into these little things,
Cruise.
and I like that as well. Like I've done it with the JFK thing. I've done it with all these weird situations where you just end up getting engrossed in it and doing lots of research on it and watching all the conspiracies and man, hours and hours and hours and hours. I could tell you anything about that thing.
See, I get like that about like, oh, how does this TikTok shop work? Oh, what do you think would flip good? Oh, there's tools. Let's go see what on average. Like, I get it like that with different things.
But you need to switch off at night, man. You can't keep fucking doing it. That's where you're insane. Like we do this shit all day.
That's my private time though. That's like my fun
no,
time.
but you can't be fucking sitting at night going, "Oh fuck, TikTok shop." Like, man, that's
It's
insane.
so fun.
You need a fucking get out, man. Like something random. Something fucking random.
We've
But
been playing basketball.
It's
Going to
whatever.
a little gym here. It's been fun. Dude, it was the slowest day ever today.
Yeah, this is really bad.
Madness.
Guys, we'll give it
cry.
5 minutes, and if there's no more questions, we will wrap up because this is painful.
Very. I mean, I love Craig. Great guy. But I've talked to him more than my wife.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Just subscribed. Also, do leave us a subscribe. But any questions, guys, please do hit us up. We're supposed to have 15 minutes left, but if not, we will wrap up in 5 minutes and
just subscribe.
back on. If you guys don't have any questions, there's not anything on today, is there? Like holiday wise or.
Remember, this is the guy that was up dreaming about Legos and TikTok shop. I have no idea, dude.
Nah, I don't think there is. But yeah, I don't think there is. It's not fucking.
Not a holiday. I don't think so.
No. Certainly not here in Scotland anyway.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But you never know with you fucking Americans. It could be fucking winter holidays for all I know.
No, nothing. Today's holiday's International Day for... No, nothing.
Nothing.
Well,
if there is no questions, guys, we might as well wrap up and let Chris get back to TikTok shop and
yes,
making little Chris understand that game better. But
it was a quick talk.
Yeah,
he said, "All right, Dad, let's do it."
But before I do wrap up, guys, please do check out the news guy. The link, logo's above, link is below. Also, do check out chrispalmer.org for you will able to get in contact with Chris, and you will also see his wholesale cash and carry of SEO services that he provides and a whole bunch more, or just go find him on YouTube, churning out video after video on all things digital marketing. So definitely worth a watch. And yeah, we will catch you the same time next week.
See ya.
See you later.